Hey everybody. Think I got this together. I'm a professional. Know what I'm doing. Yep, there we go. Oh, so skilled, so immaculate in all my many ways of professional broadcasting and journalism, but so far. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Faith and Fandom Feedback Friday as we go over the news of the week and the shenanigans that have occurred in this world that we currently rotate around. Hope you're doing well. My name is Hector Murai, if you don't know who I am, and I occasionally write books called Faith and Fandom and do stuff like this and go to church, go to cons and try and give people encouragement and also draw mediocre sketches. I also just meme. I meme a lot. Good morning. Thanks for sharing your day with me. Let's jump into some news for the week because I've got muggle jobs to do, yard maintenance, duct tape the fender of my car together, and drive away for a con. So here we are. Um, let's see. Why are my closed captions off? I want them on. That's so weird. Anyway, that's so odd that they're off today because they're normally all over the place. All right, I am going to stop procrastinating. And there we go. So, first off at the news, thank y'all for being patient. It just takes me a minute to get my life together some days. Uh, Star Wars fans, you can get one more thing that you probably never potentially asked for. Coming up in Darth Vader number 50, which to my understanding is shutting down the Darth Vader line of comics. Uh, there is going to be a backup B story where Princess Leia becomes Darth Vader's new apprentice. Um, and actually is trained by Vader to be the next Sith Lord. So, uh, if you want to be part of what is potentially the last Darth Vader comic for a hot minute and see Princess Leia become a Sith Lord, uh, you're going to get the opportunity coming September 18th. There is already concept art out there with Leia in some armor, which looks not terrible, but it looks more like Leia's playing Overwatch than being a Sith Lord. But either way, if that's your jam, you're going to have that chance coming up. Borderlands, which dropped in theaters recently, uh, managed to have a 0 on their Rotten Tomatoes, um, which is a rare accomplishment. And there is a dude named U Bowl, and if you already know who that person is by me saying his name, you know what this entails. But U Bowl is notoriously responsible for directing dozens of the worst video game adaptations of all time. And dozens. I mean, like if his name was on it, you could know it was going to be bad. Borderlands did so poor in terms of reviews that U Bowl popped out of the crater that he's been living under for the last 15 years and said, "Bet you wish I directed it." That's how bad the response has been for Borderlands, which is just kind of bonkers. Like when you have the dude who's literally been considered the worst video game movie maker of all time trolling you, you know you've officially hit a new level. This week, D23 took place, which, if you're not familiar, D23 is Disney's big uh, annual conference where they announce all the stuff they've got going on. It's basically a big, hey, look, we're still awesome thing. DC Comics also tried to do it for a while and called it the DC. I forgot what DC did. It was something with a dome. Um, Either way, Todd Turner's art was featured in one of those things. But there's a lot of announcements this week at E3 where uh one of the big things was there are sequels to lots of Pixar movies coming. I don't know that that's good or bad, but it's happening. We are officially getting an Incredibles 3 with Brad Bird, the original dude who made The Incredibles, directing it or producing it at least, or developing it. So I don't know about you, but for me, The Incredibles 2 wasn't necessarily worth a 20-year wait, but The Incredibles does have a ton of story that could be told, I believe. So Incredibles 3 is happening. Another thing that took place in the D23 Expo was that we got a look at Mandalorian and Grogu. Hey Tristan, good morning, man. Uh we got some stuff at Mandalorian and Grogu, including a live action return of Zeb from Rebels joining Mando and Grogu, and also some stuff that looks like a battle on Hoth. So there'll be Mandalorian and Grogu, if you're not aware, is going to be the end of the Mandalorian story as we know it, but rather than doing another season of Mando, they are doing a movie. And that's what's taking place with that. Mandalorian and Grogu will be coming to theaters in the nearish future. Uh, there was also the live action premiere of Stitch, uh, from Lilo and Stitch, and I have to say, Stitch looks good. Of all the ways you could mess this up, they didn't go the ugly Sonic route and have to backpedal. Stitch looks like Stitch. Stitch looks like a good live action Stitch. So I think genuinely people will be moderately pleased with how this turns out. So live action Stitch looks good, looks functional. That is coming to theaters next summer. So summer 2025, we'll be getting live action Stitch. And sad, not Disney news, Cartoon Network has officially been shut down. Their website, if you go to cartoonnetwork.com, now directs to HBO Max. It is officially the end of an era of Cartoon Network being what it was and being a major contributor to the culture shaping entertainment choices of many people my age and younger and older. Cartoon Network gave us Toonami. It gave us, you know, a lot of the entertainment choices that shape a whole generation, and it's officially shutting down. Frozen 3 has been announced, and with new artwork and imagery, Frozen 3 will hit theaters in 2027. Sweet victory. We just keep getting older. Um, and the only image I've seen so far of Frozen 3 is Anna and Elsa on horses, and there's a castle in the sky that looks like it's made of dreams or something. So if you're waiting on Frozen 3, that's officially happening 2027. My kids have been saying since the onset that they want Anna to get fire powers and for there to be like a balance to that. So maybe this is the chance. But that's a long journey. That's going to be a 14-year ride for Frozen to get from point A to point B. There is a Coco ride coming to Disneyland. That's another big thing that came out of D23. There will be a whole Coco world and ride coming to Disneyland, and I'm sure that'll be gorgeous. Avatar is dropping another sequel in the nearest future called Avatar Fire and Ash, and where the imagery is moltenish lava. And yeah, if you're still rocking with Avatar, the blue people, you've got this coming up. Uh, I didn't make it past the first movie. Like, I haven't watched the second one yet. I don't have a burning desire to, and I don't know that I would watch the third, but it's not a hard no. It's just I haven't. The Avatar Fire and Ash, that's coming. Zootopia 2 is officially coming with Ki Hoon Kwank. Man, I'm going to say his name wrong. With a short round from Indiana Jones as a main character as well. We're getting Zootopia. We are officially getting the Ironheart storyline is going to be coming, and it's going to pit machinery versus magic. Um, Autobots have officially become part of the Overwatch world. Um, I guess that's already happened actually, in terms of, it's there. But if you're an Overwatch player, uh, you are going to be able to do some more Transformer stuff than before. Andor season 2 is going to be leading right up into uh Rogue One. And so we're going to get Saw Gerrera, with Forrest Whitaker returning to play him. We're going to get Alan Tudyk's robot K2SO. We're going to get Ben Mendelsohn, who played Krennic in Andor season or in Rogue One, will be also be coming in there, and that will be coming out in 2025. Uh, I think I said this last time, but just if I didn't, Deadpool has officially hit $1 billion in the box offices, and it is now the highest R-rated film of all time. And what's funny is the movie it beat to become the highest R-rated film of all time was The Passion of the Christ, which held the title of highest rated R-rated film for 20 years. So the Marvel Jesus joke kind of panned out in an interesting way. So let's see. There is going to be a villains land at Disneyland, Disney World, um, like where all your villains live, and I'm sure that will be an immensely popular attraction when it comes to it. Uh, One Piece, if you weren't aware, is getting an animated remake. The creator of One Piece has stated that One Piece will be ending its storyline run in 2025. Uh, in terms of the manga, and with that, it's got a lot to cover. But Netflix is remaking One Piece in a more digestible, concise fashion. And they released a timeline breakdown of what that means. Um, and where currently the One Piece storyline is around 1,200 episodes of the existing anime, Netflix intends to tell the entire story of One Piece in 263 episodes. Um, as of what exists now. It will add a few more with the final arcs, but they plan to literally tell the entire story with about 20% of the runtime. Um, yeah, like the East Blue Saga, which was the first storyline, was like 60 some episodes. This one's going to be 25, etc. Alabasta, which went on forever, was is going to be 30. Sky Island, um, again, it's going to be knocked down to 20. So they're going to literally do this by percentages. And they're going to do what they intend to be cut out fluff. And also, there have been many times in the manga to the anime where they censor things that may have been too violent. And so the violent censorship will not be present in the Netflix anime version of One Piece when it comes. In sad news this week, Rachel Lillis, who was the voice of Misty and Jessie in Pokemon, has passed away. She died at 46 years old. Um, Literally not old at all. Veronica Taylor posted a letter, who was the original Ash, to say her condolences. Um, but that's an iconic voice, and she also voiced several of the Pokemon as well. Uh, yeah, that's that's sad to hear. I believe I've run into her at cons before, but I'm not certain. Um, but 46 is not old, coming from a 43-year-old. Uh, but that is sad that she's passed away. Um, Jaron Jaron Duran from the Red Sox has been suspended for 2 games um, and will have part of his salary docked, and the funds will go to a and yeah, his the funds are going to go to compensate his actions after he was suspended for 2 games for making an anti-gay slur um during the game against the Astros on last Sunday. And so his he's going to be docked pay, suspended 2 games, and the money is going to be given to a nonprofit in conjunction. Uh That's so other announcements from D23. Moana live action will no, sorry. Moana 2 will drop in November. Zootopia will drop Mufasa, I believe it's dropping in December. Freakier Friday will be in 25. Captain America Brave New World is coming up. The live action Snow White, which doesn't look like it's got dope. Doesn't look super great, but Gal Gadot as the bad guy is a nice touch. Elio, which is the new Pixar film, Summer or Lilo and Stitch live action, Fantastic Four live action. Tron Ares is going to be October of 2025. Avatar Fire and Ash will be December 2025. Toy Story 5 will be summer 2026, and Hoppers will be another film in 2026. So a lot of Disney Plus stuff. Netflix has officially ordered a 3D animated Ghostbusters series. Um, it'll be an all new Ghostbusters cartoon, 3D animation, and that will be coming to Netflix. They've officially ordered a whole series of it, so that is coming. And Tristan, if you're on here, do you have opinions on Rachel Gunn slash Ray Gunn in the Olympics and all those things? Being your pseudo home territory there. But Rachel Gunn has been heavily noted and commented and documented on in terms of her not only performance in the Olympics, but the steps that were taken to get her into the Olympics. And there are lots of opinions of lots of things to say, and not everybody is real positive with it. She is quoted as saying, "Some Olympians spend their entire lives training to make history, to carve out a name for themselves. I trained for exactly 37 minutes, and now I'm the most famous break dancer in the world. My sick move shut down an entire event. How many Olympians can say that?" Uh, yeah. But 2028 Olympics have already announced there will not be breakdancing in the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. Tristan says no comment. Okay. Um, Not only did she compete, she was also part of the organization that decided if people could compete. So there's a whole slippery slope of shenanigans there, and how that plays out. Um, there is a petition at change.org that has been officially filed for her to be held accountable and potentially pay damages to the dancers who were better than her, who were not allowed to go to the Olympics because she took their spot. So that is a petition being filed at change.org. Not only is Cartoon Network being shut down, Paramount Global is shutting down the Paramount Studios television as a cost cutting measure. Now, this is the same studio that brought us Jack Ryan with John Krasinski, but that also puts a looming question mark over Reacher. Reacher is one of the most successful things on Amazon, but it is connected to Reacher in terms of the studios that produce it. So, uh, trying to cost cut measures there, not where I would have gone with that. Mamma Mia 3 is officially in the works. So if you need another ABBA musical, it's officially happening. Um, Something I am genuinely excited about. Coca-Cola is teaming up with Oreos for a Oreo themed soda. There will be Coca-Cola flavored Oreos and Oreo flavored Coke Zero. So I'm excited, genuinely. I want a soda flavored Oreo and I want a cookie flavored Coke Zero. Yes, please. Um, that will officially happen. I will drink that. Um, yeah, that's happening. There is another actor strike that is currently taking place with SAG-AFTRA. Um, and yeah, that's happening. But instead of this being for actors in television, the strike is taking place for video game actors, for fair compensation, for better treatment and work hours in terms of safety and health, and to combat the overwhelming response of AI in upcoming video game production. And so, if you've got a video game you're hoping for that's coming out in like 3 years, uh, you might see some effect of this. But yeah, that's coming. So there will be some video game delays with that. A very violent trailer for Kraven the Hunter finally dropped. Does this look like it could potentially be the best Sony independent Spider-Verse film? Maybe. Um, we do get a first look at a live action Rhino. And while he does look better than the Amazing Spider-Man 2's Rhino, I'm not sold. Like his face looks a little weird to me. But then again, painting Rhino or drawing Rhino or creating Rhino is always going to be a hard topic because it's a dude in a cement bodysuit with a horn. That's not a lot of organic ways to make that look real, but that is happening. Uh, Channing Tatum was recently on Jimmy Fallon to discuss Gambit, and he said that he would do horrible things, or he said he's willing to do terrible things to get a Gambit movie still. Um, his final statement is that he would kill kittens to be able to get Gambit its own movie. So hide your kittens. Uh, Toby Nwigwe has dropped an announcement of a what I'm assuming is an album. It might just be a single, but based on the title, I don't think so. 8/25, August 25th, which is next week. Hood Hymns. 8/25, Toby Nwigwe has dropped the title Hood Hymns. So that is coming. In a moment of local pride ish for my state, North Carolina's zoo is voted again the best zoo in the world by Newsweek's 2024 Reader's Choice. It beat the Bronx Zoo, New York, San Diego, Washington, D.C. If you're not aware, North Carolina has the largest geographic zoo in the world, in this hemisphere. Uh, and they're expanding it, which means it's going to be even bigger. But yeah, it takes roughly, uh, if you walk from beginning to end and back, it's 8 miles. And so it's a chunky amount of real estate. But North Carolina Zoo is again voted the best one, and on our area at least. It's something about the hemisphere. There might be better zoos in other places, but it's the best one around here. Guy Ritchie's The Gentleman has officially been renewed for season 2 with the cast all returning. So I've enjoyed every clip of the movie The Gentleman I've seen, but I've not watched the movie The Gentleman, but I have seen the series. Well, the upcoming Amazon live action Masters of the Universe He-Man movie uh has officially found its Tila. It is going to be Camila Mendez, who is a star of the show Riverdale, is going to be Tila in the upcoming Amazon Masters of the Universe movie. And things that I absolutely never expected to say out loud. Um Jessica, you should go to the NC Zoo. I'm telling you, like it's nice, but like I would wait until there's a new Asia world that they're adding to it right now, and I think it's going to be done this year. And I would wait until that's done because the construction for the last year has been a little wonky, but it's a nice zoo. I've got a lifetime of memories going to that place um, with my kids and everything else. So, it's a good spot. But in terms of things I never thought I would say out loud, Nicolas Cage, and a lot of sentences I never expect to say start out with Nicolas Cage. Um, yeah. Nicolas Cage is going to be playing John Madden, the famous football star and commentator and, namesake of the video game franchise in an upcoming Amazon film. Uh, yeah, there's a movie called Madden, and Nicolas Cage is going to be playing John Madden. So I'm just interested to see where this goes. You know, um, two doctors and Matthew Perry's assistant have been charged with Matthew Perry's death. Um, if you weren't aware, Matthew Perry died recently within the last year or so. And his death was attributed to ketamine and that he was found dead in his hot tub. Uh, Now they're charging two doctors and his personal assistant slash friend uh, in the death of that. Yeah. If you are a child of the 80s, 90s, or any other generation, uh, you might remember cool glasses like drinking containers at McDonald's. Um, there's been a lifetime of neat glasses and glassware that comes from McDonald's, and McDonald's is now doing a collector's meal, which is an adult Happy Meal where you can buy a glass that features famous McDonald's toys on the glasses or famous McDonald's promotions. There's a Hello Kitty glass, there's a Shrek glass, there's a McDonald's land one where it literally just features old McDonald's cups. So, but if you want some glassware, you need your fine china to get upgraded, then get on it. There's that. The world of Dexter is now continuing in ways that it wasn't necessarily continuing before. There was previously announced the prequel series to Dexter Original Sin, but now there's a new sequel series to Dexter. Dexter New Blood, which took place a few years ago. Uh, the end of Dexter New Blood ended with Dexter dying at the hands of his son. Uh, they're now retconning the end of Dexter New Blood to say that Dexter lived, even though it was confirmed that he died in the show. Um, and there's a new series coming starring Anthony Michael Hall, the original actor for Dexter, called Dexter Resurrection. And that will be heading our way. So not only do we get a prequel series, we also get a sequel series that retcons the previous sequel series. So that's weird. Some people are excited about it, people that are just Dexter stands. Um, but I'm not always the biggest fan of stories being retconned for profit or for continuation. That's why we have a million horror movies when, a character clearly met their scripted fate. But as we digress, uh, God's pleased anytime we worship with the right heart. You don't have to be a rock star to lead worship or anything like that. Um, but this past Sunday at her local church in Franklin, Tennessee, uh, Carrie Underwood like just slipped into the worship team to lead the song "Goodness of God." Like they didn't make an announcement. There wasn't like pyrotechnics and her name coming on the screen. Carrie Underwood just like slowly like slid into the worship team to help lead the song. And I think that's cool. Like, not that it's anything about her, but it is neat. She's just like at church and then just slides herself into the worship team. If you are a fan of aggressive, hardcore Christian music, rejoice because Skillet is dropping a new album in November uh, called Revolution. November 1st, Skillet will drop a new album, Revolution. The first single of the album is called Unpopular, and it's out now. So if you need some new Skillet in your life, there's a single called Unpopular that you can go check out. And the new album, Revolution, will drop November 1st. I remember Skillet in, let's say, 2003 at Festival Condios, Newsboys Music Festival that they ran, which was one of the best tours I'd ever gone to. Um, Tristan says the new song is great. Okay, I will add that to my playlist. Um, when 2003 Festival Condios, uh, Newsboys headlined, and Skillet was like right below there. Super Chick played, and the OC Supertones, and that was one of the best tours of my life. But I had the job for Skillet to be their flag bearer for a hour or two. If you uh took their giant Alien Youth flag that they had at the point in time, that point in time for their current album, and you just spent your time running around the festival carrying this giant flag, like the green flag dude on TikTok. I believe low key that's his inspiration. Um, if you ran around with that giant flag, you got free merch for doing that. And so yeah, I remember Festival Candios. I took a chunk of my time turning around with a giant Skillet flag because that was what I did as a 20-year-old, 22-year-old. Um, three teenagers have been arrested. Oh, dude, uh, Tristan, like seriously, look up the lineup to Festival Candios 2003 or whatever. If it you can find it anywhere, because it was pure gold, pure gold, and that was when Peter Furler was still running Newsboys and everything. I'm talking fresh kiss. It was wonderful. Um, three teenagers have been arrested or interrogated um in terms of the potential terrorist attack at the Austrian Taylor Swift concert. Plural. There are three teenagers that have been identified, questioned, or arrested in terms of that. The attempted terrorist attack that cost three stadiums full of people to miss out on their concerts and endanger the lives of many. It's apparent that three teenagers were responsible for it. It's maybe some adults as well, but so far it's three teenagers that have been responsible. You know what? That's the news I got. That's about it. So Disney did a lot of big stuff this week. A lot of things went down. Video game strikes and Rachel Gunn. All the things. A couple of things I want to let you guys know on. I want to thank our Patreon supporters as always. Before I get that there, I want to share a verse with you. It's just one I literally woke up thinking about this morning. The phrase the in John 8 we see the portion where the lady was about to be stoned, the woman caught in adultery. And the phrase that I woke up thinking about was John 8 verse 10. Jesus straightened up and asked her, "Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?" And we know the rest of the story that it goes on to say, for her to say, "No one, sir," she said. He says, "Then neither do I condemn you." And Jesus declared, "Go now and leave your life of sin." Or as I grew up hearing it, "Go and sin no more." That question, though, is one, this is the question that woke me up just thinking about it this morning. Uh, Where are they? Has no one condemned you? The version that I was thinking of when I woke up is, where are those that have condemned you? And what I was thinking about this morning is the fact that we spend a lot of our time worried, concerned about what others think of us, how others judge us. And this woman was literally in a situation where people were physically standing there armed to hurt her, to end her life, over her choices that she made, whether she was guilty or not. You know, what we know she was guilty, but like there's also an entrapment situation there, I think. Um, but she was literally at the point of facing death, and Jesus says, "Where are those that condemn you?" And I know hers was a very literal situation, but I think for us, we spend a lot of time with the anxiety of people will say this, people will think this. And while it is important for us to have good reputations and to be credible in who we are and our integrity, I think we truly need to get to a place where we can ask ourselves that question, is like, where are those that have condemned us? Because if we truly believe that Christ is for us, then we can't live our life in fear or concern of those who could condemn us, and not even those who wrongly condemn us, even those who rightly condemn us. Um, Living in fear of that, because if Jesus just stood there and saved this woman, and I believe that even in our worst, he's there with us. And when we operate in fear, I really think Jesus is just standing there saying, "We're the ones who are actually going to condemn you with me standing right here." And because even the ones who do condemn us don't last in the face of Jesus and his mercy and his grace. And I just want to encourage you, don't live in fear of that. Now, there is the sobering conclusion to Jesus' statement where he says, "Then neither do I condemn you." So Jesus doesn't let others condemn us, and he doesn't condemn us, but he does say, "Go now and leave your life of sin, go and sin no more." And I think that's where Jessica, I'm really glad. Jessica says she needed to hear that today. Jesus does leave us with that statement. Now go and leave your life of sin, go and sin no more. And he doesn't just say, "I'm going to stand here and shot block all of your consequences," but he does say, "I'm not going to let you be condemned, even for the things that you're guilty of." That his grace is not just redemptive, but his grace is preventative from the destruction we even bring on ourselves or that others might cast on us. So I want to encourage you, ask yourself every now and again, where are those who condemned me? They're not here, because Jesus didn't let them be that. So that was on my mind. That was on my heart. I wanted to share that with you. I want to thank our Patreon supporters, David Brooks, Jeff Weimer. I need to mail you a book. Colin Sproles, Jamie Montgomery, the Coleman family. Need to mail y'all stickers. Jonathan Herman, Ron Petit. Ron, you've been a great encouragement to me just this past week talking to me. I appreciate you. Um, Gear Saber cosplay. By the way, Gear Saber, if you hear this, there was a dude who was really encouraged and interested in what you were doing. I was talking to in Tennessee this week. Um, Alicia Glenn, Candace Davis, Jay Sheed, Jason Crutchfield, Mike Perna, Todd Turner, who I recorded the Pull List podcast with last night, Zach Harris, Caleb Grimm, Jeanette Skaggs, Jason Bullock, Christina Ray, Sarah Lewis, Patrick Gale, Rebecca Godlove, and Adam Davis. Thank you all for being as encouraging and supportive as you are. And I mentioned this on the Artist Alley Aftermath, uh, but I wanted to tell you guys, I got to meet some cool people from the Isaiah 117 house, which is a foster care ministry um, that is kind of all over. Not, I don't think just Tennessee, but it's kind of all over the place. But we're able to kind of partner with them a little bit with some books and some encouragement, and hope to be able to do some more in the future. But just met them at the con, and really excited just for that opportunity. So that was a neat thing. Tomorrow I will be at Wake Forest Comic Con in Wake Forest, North Carolina. The following Friday, I will be at Nerd Market in downtown Fayetteville. The week after that, I will be at the Brothers Boyd Comic Con, and the week after that will be Vertical Mini Con. And also, if you are relatively local to my area, Fayetteville Comic Con announced this week that they will be ending their run, that the con will be shutting down after the October show. So if you're local to my area, that might be something you want to consider. I'll probably sign up for this one. Excuse me, hiccups. But yeah, I hope y'all have a great morning, and that you know that you're not only not condemned, but you're loved. And I hope to see you at a con soon, and that you are encouraged and loved and blessed. And see you soon, y'all. And I'm gonna hit the button.